the SanicBoi set right now, which means you guys are gonna go right here. So today's live stream is essentially just going to be me working on my light. Because something happened with it. I just don't know what. For whatever reason, it's just not working now. And that's not good. Especially since I'm an aspiring YouTuber who needs an actual good lighting system. What's good, Sonic Animations Live? How we doing, man? So, I'm going to try to reestablish. What's good, Funny Bagels? How we doing, man? I'm going to try and reestablish whatever was lost with this one. And then hopefully we can go back to just having a full set. I did not die. I am aware of that fact. Hence why you are commenting in my live stream. How we doing? We're doing pretty good for the most part. There's stuff going on right now that I kind of have to deal with like immediately though, so that's going to take up for what I can assume is going to be most of the live stream. Actually, let me plug you guys into the thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Alright, there we go. What's good? Hyper Gamer Sunpack, how we doing, man? I'm doing alright. Alright, just gotta plug that in. And then maybe we can do this. Yeah, something that I can always count on something specifically working, and it's usually my microphone. Which, that's actually good. I'm really glad that that is one of the only things that really works. Okay. So here's the issue that we're dealing with for like the 3 people who are in here right now. I disconnected this for something. I don't know what it was for. But now, my light does not seem to be working, even when it's plugged into different outlets. It's currently plugged into this one right now. I just need to, I actually have no clue. I could not tell you what the problem is. I legitimately could not tell you. What's good, Jake the Hedgehog? How we doing, man? But yeah, like I said, I legitimately could not tell you guys what the issue is with my light, which means you guys are just gonna have to sit right there up until something actually happens. Maybe I'll get you guys another angle. There, boom, that's better. Hold up. And it would seem as though my headphones just straight up stopped working. There we go. Okay. Whew. Thought that wouldn't work. That would have been scary. My headphones for this thing stopped working, and my light thing isn't working. I might have been out of a job. Or, not a job. It's not like I'm getting paid for this. Hold on. Go right here. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, things are kind of messy right now. Had to place these somewhere last night so I could actually sleep comfortably. Wait, my hat. My beanie. No. Alright. Here we go. Yeah. Alright, we're going to turn on this light so we can turn off this one. So I spoke with Santa Gal and she's coming back with Live 83. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. I would not be surprised. Anyway. Let's see here. This really sucks. Is SanicBoi on a budget? Always have and always will, baby. No. Hopefully this is just a little glitch with a one-time glitch, I should say, with my lighting configuration here. So hopefully I can get back to doing it immediately. Where did that stupid stand go? It's over there, isn't it? It totally is. Oh my goodness. Okay. So where am I going to place you guys? I guess I could technically just There we go. Okay. We're safe, ladies and gentlemen. We are safe. Safe. I swear to God, if that cuts out again. Little boy? I am not little. I really hope you guys don't hear that sound because it's very annoying to me. Okay. So what we're going to do is plug this into one of the two outlets that's down here. Down here, you guys can actually see my finger there. We're going to plug it in down there. If you do that one more time, I need to get new headphones. I really do. Because that's like the only thing stopping me from like always using the microphone is that annoying sound. Tech boy. Darn right, tech boy. If I could actually figure out where the stupid plugins at. There we go. Maybe it does need to be connected to this thing in order to work. Still setting up. Actually, I'm fixing a problem that probably I could have fixed yesterday. Although yesterday I was editing the Crossworld review. I don't know what exactly is going on. That's what's going on. I'm being stupid. I don't know exactly what's going on, but hopefully whatever is going on, I can get it fixed for the live stream. So, yeah. Otherwise, I don't have a light, or at least a good light. And then you guys can't really see me all that well. Okay. I swear, if it's just like a switch I have to flip, everything's gone. My channel, it's gone. SanicBoi. Okay. Explain that one to me. 6-7 boy. There you go. Okay. Come on. Darn it. Okay, so here's the issue. I legitimately have no clue what is going on with my light. I plugged it into all different sorts of outlets. I've tried all different lengths of the cord to see if the electrical flow will flow better through it with a straight cord when it's longer and stuff like that. Stop being overly dramatic, like people. Teacher won't be gone. What? You realize I'm making a joke, right? You realize I'm being humorous when I say stuff like, my channel will be gone. I'm being hyperbolic. I know for a fact that my channel won't be gone. You realize that, right? I really hope you do. You're good, man. You're good. Anyway, like I was saying, the only thing that I really haven't tried yet was wait, what did you say about the Shrek 5 teaser? Hold on. People freaking out over Shrek. No. I think in terms of the Shrek 5 teaser, that was kind of justified, low-key. Because although I get why they did it, I still don't think it was necessarily a good idea to switch the art style. And I'm totally in support of people who want it changed. Anyway, the only thing I really haven't tried yet is plugging it into a different USB thing. So I'm going to go get my iPad charger, unplug it from that, and then see if that works, because if it doesn't, I am screwed. But if I also use something else alongside this thing, then and that works, that means I am totally screwed, because that means it's not a problem with this, it's a problem with this. So we are in for a great good old time. I will be right back, because I know exactly where it's at. Okay. New problem. I just plugged something in with the other one, and it did not work. And it worked. So that means it's something with the light. But I could not for the life of you tell you exactly what's going on. Tom Holland, Spider-Man, brand new day. All right, Danny. Oh, speaking of Shrek 5, I just feel like people are being overly dramatic, saying it's bad as a... Oh, yeah, no. It's totally not as bad as Ugly Sonic, or it doesn't even look like AI Slob. I totally get that part. Or how the plot will be, how Felicia wants to go and see the world. I can guarantee you that's exactly what the plot's going to be. 100%. I know I might diverge from you on this, but 100% that's what the plot's going to be. There's no way, because from what we have heard, apparently it's going to be like Shrek going into the real world and stuff like that. I could 100% see how that was happening. Hi, I just glitching. But Shrek won't him, which is funny because we know nothing about the plot. Read my comment. Ninja got a lightsaber fade. Alright. Hold on. Melly Martinez's new album coming soon, 2026. Cool. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, she really liked Melanie Martinez. Oh, this sucks. Okay. Please, bro. Wait, I just saw light. I did. For a split second. Ah, dang it. Oh, my question is, how exactly are you sure the plot's like that? Do you secretly know the plot or something? The plot... Do not use words like echo chamber when you don't know what they mean, especially when you're using them very incorrectly. It's not an echo chamber if the same insider who told us the exact person who's playing the teenage girl, Shrek's daughter, in the movie, maybe has put out a couple plot details. I would find him to be very trustworthy, actually. I would love to have a whole debate about this, by the way. Wait, the synopsis? Was the plot leaked? I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe the same guy who leaked Zendaya was playing the person also leaked a few details of the plot, such as Shrek going into the real world. It could have been a different guy as well, but I know that for a fact that specific aspect was leaked. Warm the ring light? What do you mean warm the ring light? And of course, if I am wrong, I will concede, but... Oh, no, that's a terrible idea. Yeah. Dang, this sucks. Light doesn't work. Well, it was like a $14 light. The fact that's lasted this long probably is a blessing, but... There had to be a day where it died. With your hands? No, it's not a problem with the light itself. It's a problem with the cording. Shrek's universe is a fantastic world. Why on earth would they do that? Because Perfect glass. I think so too, and I totally agree with you. But I think Shrek 5 and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish were made by two completely different teams who were not coordinating whatsoever. I think the literal only thing they coordinated on was the post-credit scene of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I think they have two completely different ideas as to where to take the Shrek franchise, and I feel like if they went something with like a Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, totally would have been great. But I think they need a way to like sort of reintroduce audiences into Shrek, and I don't think you do that by pushing them into a pre-established history. I think you do that by presenting the characters with a brand new thing that they haven't seen before. I mean, Puss won't be in Shrek 5. Well, we don't technically know that yet. That I for sure we don't know. We haven't heard anything like really substantial in terms of if Puss is going to appear or not. I would not be surprised if he wouldn't, or if he's not going to. But I still think there's a chance that he can. Well, I mean, if he doesn't have any purpose in the plot of Shrek 5, then might as well don't have him there just let him mess around with his girlfriend Kitty. That's true, but I think the only thing standing in the way of that is that Puss in Boots: The Last Wish literally ended with Puss and Kitty going to far, far away. Is that what it's called? Far, far away. Kingdom of Far, Far Away. I don't remember what it's called, but it literally ended with them with Puss saying something to the effect of, "We're gonna make new stories with old friends," and I believe they played the Shrek theme. So I kind of feel like that's what they were setting up. But again, things, especially because we're dealing with two different teams here, I would definitely not be surprised if things don't end up like that. Use the outside light. You don't want me to use the outside light. It looks so bad. But I guess we could. Wow. Okay. How does it look now? This sucks because I legitimately have no clue how to fix my thing, and I do not want to go and buy another one. Unless, of course, it's $14. Okay, hear me out. What if instead of Shrek 5, give the daughter some meaningful character arc and development and focuses on the relationship of Shrek and Felicia and, develop them? You should record the movie? Good. Yeah, I would totally love that. In fact, I think that's what they should do, is, because the audience already has that expectation of, oh, father, I want to leave and be on my own, explore the world. I think they already have that expectation, so to subvert it and make it even better, I think that would be great. See, now the only difficult part of this is that when I put the phone on this, the light is going to be shining right on it. So that's going to be very, very awkward, not only for me, but for you guys as well. But I guess we could always try it. Is that my issue? Okay. I need to look throughout the entire thing, make sure that there's no, breaks. This sucks so hard. Shrek learned to be a good father by developing their relationship. Exactly. Whoa. Okay. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? You guys remember that Pinocchio movie? I sure do. That was a fun time to be on the internet. Okay. We'll try. We'll see where. It actually doesn't look as bad as I would have thought. It's still not preferable, though. Of course, I don't need preferable, but what I need is functional. So until I can get a new light thing, I don't think I'm going to have practical. As for the character designs, I think they're fine. Like, it's not an utter failure of character design. It's just the recognizability is there. I just think they need a few slight changes. I think that's what most people think. I know, obviously, like you said, there are some people who do the whole ugly Sonic or like AI slop or like AI Disney slop kind of thing, but I just don't think that it would be like bad thing if they went in and changed all of it, like 100%. If they made it look more like the old movies, I would be fine with that too. AKA that uncanniness, yeah. I could see that. Okay. Matt Pass will voice Toy Bonnie. Blumhouse said that. Yes, that's right. I saw the New York Comic Con announcement there. I did see that. Okay. Actually, you know what? This actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't really like highlight my face very well. It's very bad lighting. It makes it look weird on my face, but if I had to use it, I would use it. It just looks weird. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe if I face like this way and put the tripod right here. Hey guys, welcome back to SanicBoi channel. It actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. It really doesn't. I could work with this if I really had to. And I think for the next couple videos, that's just what I'll have to do. So, yeah. Because today after stream, the Sonic Racing Crossworlds review is going to come out. At literally 1 o'clock my time, the Sonic Racing Crossworlds review is going to come out. And that's going to be in like 36 minutes. So you guys have some content to go and watch after there. So I need to get started immediately on the next video, which is probably going to be a What Happened To video. Because Shrek meant to be ugly. If the realistic art style is useful for one franchise, it could be good for another one. This time is for good use. Whoa, sorry. Because Shrek meant to be ugly. If the realistic art style is useful for one franchise and can be for good use this time for Shrek 5. Exactly. Totally agree, my friend. Well, okay. Moana 3 is coming out June 26, 2026. Already? There's no way. Let's check this. Got my school's homecoming tonight. Excited. It's my first homecoming. Obviously, my middle school had dances, but I never really went to any of them. I might go to prom, too. Tickets are really expensive. I need to clean off the iPad screen. But yeah. Let's see here. If you if you change Shrek's art style to a more cartoony art style or painting aesthetics with Spider-Verse animation style, would be jarring for Shrek. That's true, but I still that's true. But I think in like Whoa, that's a pretty clad. In very small doses, I think it could be done. Like in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, they had a little moment of Shrek where he was obviously in a silhouette, but his design then still looked pretty good. And I think that's the same one that they used for the opening title crawl that DreamWorks has now with showing all of their different franchises. I think that model of Shrek looks really good. I think definitely that in small doses, it's good, but I think for like big things, they should have just kept the normal art style. Hold on, let me kick off my other shoe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Into a million pieces and we can't go back. Don't let my sister get that clip, 'cause she'll spread it like wildfire. Okay. Boom. This looks great. So much detail on the back. They're posting YouTube about it on a YouTube channel. I don't remember. Then I don't trust it. I know like random people like to say things and people like to believe it, but like unless it's Disney themselves, I don't believe stuff like that. Like release dates for movies. Unless of course it's someone credible that has been right in the past. Of course I then trust that. But just like random people. Nah. It's probably just like one of those fan-made things. Whoa. Yeah. Wait, it went away. Again, I think it's more fitting for The Last Wish and Puss in Boots. A lot of people say Puss in Boots The Last Wish, which was an evolution on Shrek's art style, but I disagree because it completely ditches the realism. True. Get this man a true. As more painty aesthetic. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is trying to be something completely different from the Shrek movies, and I totally respect it for that, and it should stay its own thing. If Puss in Boots appears in Shrek 5, he should look more like how he did in the previous Shrek movies than Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. 100%. And you know what? I think they should do that kind of thing for the too. The one that they're having with who plays Donkey? It's not Chris Rock. It's whoever it is. I think it's from a non-fake Spanish Disney YouTube channel. Could you send the link? Send the link, please. All right. But yeah, I totally agree with you there. Eddie Murphy, thank you. Eddie Murphy confirmed a little while back that they're doing a Donkey movie. So I think they should also change the art style for that one too. I think it would make it a little more visually distinct. Although, of course, Donkey is so not heavenly, so heavily linked to Shrek, specifically that character in terms of the Shrek franchise. I think it'd be weird to diverge the art style just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Donkey also had that too in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where he was just a little snippet. But yeah, they could do good things with the Donkey movie, I'd say. Just make them look a little bit different. Maybe this could be a nice change of scenery for the SanicBoi set. Maybe it could. Maybe from this point on, I'll start using natural light to light my set. Because actually, it doesn't look bad. As long as it stays like this 100% of the time, I think we're good. I don't want it to be like too bright, but I don't want it to be too dark either. The light looks good. Yeah. It actually does highlight a lot of stuff really well. Especially that mic. Do you guys see that highlight right here on the mic? That's great. I love that. And maybe that's what we'll do. And I kind of like this corner angle too. As opposed to being like right here, where the camera would be normally about right here. I'm right here in the corner. I actually think that looks a lot better. Wow. Although maybe we slide it over just a little bit. Sorry, they removed the post about 5 hours ago. Maybe they're getting ready for an announcement then. We'll see. But because when did Moana 2 come out? The Moana 2, it's the TV show split
combined into the movie. Because that was last year, wasn't it? One or two, or is it 2023? I don't remember. But yeah, I think it might be too soon, especially with the live action Moana coming. I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. I know Disney's definitely gonna have to announce something with the next couple days, especially with New York Comic Con. So we'll see. Into a million pieces and we can't. Whoa, what is that? Huh? I don't see any like visible breaks in the thing. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, like I said, the Sonic Racing Crossroads review is going to be out by the time the stream ends. So go check that out when it releases, because I actually did work really hard on it these past 2 weeks now, almost. Because I had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 days with the game. On the first through the fourth, I worked on the script. On the fifth, I recorded. Then on Monday through Friday, specifically just Friday, I literally did all of the editing on Friday. I started editing there, and then today it's getting uploaded. So yeah, and I was working really hard on the thumbnail all throughout this whole process. I really hope you guys like that too. I tried to do something a little bit different. I'm not sure if it really looks that good, but we'll see. But yeah, as soon as I can start hiring people to do this stuff for me, I'm gonna be set. Oh my goodness. I know that day will never come though. There's no way. Ooh. What am I gonna do? Actually, let's look this up. It's an on product. You guys know what on products are? They ONN period, right? I can edit, yes, but I would like to pay someone to edit. Do you think Shrek 2 is better or Last? Ooh, that's a toughie. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, Shrek 2 or Puss in Boots? I will admit I have fond memories of Shrek 2, but I think I like Puss in Boots just a little bit more. Just how it is, you know? I think I like it just a little bit more. On. What is it like? Focus on. Focus. Tripod. And light. Ring. Hopefully they have it on sale, because I'm not buying one of those full price. Okay. Okay, not 8-inch. I need on products. Into a million pieces and we can go back. Whoa, 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 hey, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Someone 8 inches? Oh my goodness, it's 8 inches. I mean, The Last Wish has 3 villains and 3 character arcs. Execute them well and cohesively, and even reaches the level of Spider Verse. Meanwhile, Shrek 2 has 1 arc and 1 villain. Well, I don't think. I don't think the ability to like specifically do a multitude of things very well is like that big of a selling point there. I think if you can do 3 very well, that's great. But I don't think that undermines someone doing 1 very well as well, right? Because even then, having 1 character arc means it has 3 times the amount of each one of the other character arcs from the other movie to develop and grow, right? And you just get more time with that character, right? Right? React to the glitch direct 2025. Is that animators behind Digital Circus? I mean, I think the Last Witch takes a little more. Yes, you're right. Yeah, totally. I could see that. I would argue that too. It's not. Wait. RGB. So this is just. Wait. No, wait. That's a completely different product, though. on ring light. Yeah, I could totally see how it takes more risks. I 100% see that. Did they stop making it? I hope not. That would suck. 18 inches. What do you need that much space for? Oh my goodness. Wow. Lag. Should be you. I don't know. There's no way. Technically, I just need the ring light. I mean, oh, whoa. I mean, isn't normally when a story takes more risks and ambitions succeed to execute ideas cohesively on a big scale when it make the story better, like having multiple villains and arcs and such. Although should be careful of doing too much. Not necessarily. Sometimes less is more, but I think in this instance it is a little bit more impressive to say that Puss in Boots: The Last Wish did better here, because I think it's one thing to make a great story, but it's another thing to make a great story that ties around, has all these different character arcs. But like I said earlier, that doesn't necessarily undermine the first one. I think that's hold up. Wait, what did you? It doesn't like I was saying. Less is more, right? I think obviously it's great if you have a bunch of stuff, but I also, and like I said, I consider The Last Wish to be the better movie, but I still think less can definitely be more, and oftentimes it should be more, because if you have one character arc, you can specifically focus on that. Like I said earlier, if you have three, obviously you got three different character arcs to tie up, right? And while I would consider it to be more impressive, it doesn't always necessarily have to be better. But in this instance, I would consider it to be better. How long is the wire? Let's check. Okay, so the 8-inch. I mean, Spider-Verse also says that kind of writing style too. It's money. Well, I argue there's a difference between one main character arc and side character arcs. I think a brilliant example with this is actually Spider-Verse. I'd argue that's a really good example of this. It's Miles' story. That's very obvious. But obviously the characters go through little tiny things like Gwen. She does the whole doesn't have any friends, but then like warms up to Miles and stuff like that. And like Noir, even if it's like a joke character arc, he has a little thing where he kind of like learns to see colors and stuff like that. And well, I think it's great. It has a specific main focus. It can diverge. It's focused from one thing to another, but I think it's a whole lot better to have a specific focal point as opposed to having three different ones that you have to focus on. And especially this kind of like turns bad when you don't like one of the three or two of the three or even all of them. I guess if you don't like all of them, just don't watch the movie again. But that kind of makes you want to see more of the other one. So I think if you're focused on one thing, that also captures the audience attention fully, so they don't have to go back wanting to expect something out of the other character's story, you know? Side character arcs get lesser treatment compared to the main character arc? Yes, but yeah. Totally agree. But yeah, side character arcs, it's way different, because I wouldn't consider every character in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that has a character arc to get main character treatment, but they do definitely share a similar amount of screen time, although Puss obviously himself having the most out of any of the other characters. I think all of the other ones still have ample amount of screen time for them to be considered main characters, just not the main character, you know? So I think if you have 3 different character arcs going on at the same time, I think you should have a little more time to expand upon that. And then, in fact, maybe it could have worked better as a show, too. I think, like, if they had that amount of time, like 40 minutes per episode, 100%. It'd be even better because they'd have even more time to go in even further deeper with all of these other characters doing their thing, you know? But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Hold on, let me get the box real quick. Okay. This stupid thing. Device not included. What? Yeah, it is. Oh wait, no, not the phone. Okay. So this sucks. You see, the reason why sometimes multiple subplots and character arcs exist, aka side character arcs, is to enhance the overall main plot to give it extra layer. Well, I know why it's done. I just don't think a good narrative should have to rely on that to get it done, to fill out the narrative. I think the base narrative should be great enough on its own to not even need the side character arcs. I think if you want to have a little extra alongside it, that's perfectly fine. Sorry. But, in which I think Puss in Boots' Last Wish does do that. But I don't think that, if otherwise, I don't think they should be included. You need to focus on making your main one the best one. I mean, that's how I learned from my tutorials. So you do, like, creative writing and stuff like that? Writing tutorials, yeah. Read my comment. What was your comment? T? React to the glitch direct. I did read that one. You've been spamming it. Huh. I think that's what stopped working the first time, too, is the light. Because I have 2 of these, and one of them just, I believe they just straight up stopped working. I'm on the second one right now. And if I can't find another one, that means I have to go and buy a whole new, different product, which is going to be a hassle. Because this was only $9. I think both of them were only $9, actually. With an original price of however much, right? But yeah, I guess I could just, like, separate that, because it looks like the exact same system. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I don't know. We'll see what we can do about it, but no guarantees. I would really like to find that other one again, because it's been a good light. I've been using it for 2 years now, I want to say. The brand specifically, I've gone through 2 of them, this being the second one. But yeah. Let's see. Along with tips like having multiple subplots and multiple character arcs can enhance an overall story, not abandon subplots. Okay. Okay, I could see that. It's been a long morning. hopefully you guys will like the new video coming out today. I've been working hard on it, like I said. And it will be, hopefully, my last Racing Crossworlds video up until the SpongeBob DLC comes out. And I can go a little more in depth. Because I believe the Minecraft stuff, because I started editing so late, it had to be put at the very end as a little 45-second clip. So hopefully with the other DLCs and characters as well, I can go more in depth, because I think here's what I'll do. Every month or so, if there's new content, I'll make a new video on Sonic Racing Crossworlds going over that content. So like November, by that time we're going to have Joker, Ichiban, and SpongeBob. So yeah, I believe so. Joker, Ichiban, and SpongeBob. So I'll make a video on those few. What's good, Moshi? How we doing, man? Yes, Sonic Animations. How do I make the end of my episode? What's the start of it and middle? But yeah, every few months or so, I'll, like, especially with like the Mega Man and like the TMNT Avatar, I'll go in and make videos about those specific ones if there's nothing else, right? I'm going crazy grinding my rivals in Sonic Racing Crossworlds right now. You're doing what to your rivals? Hold on. Like, I can agree sometimes less is more, but I can understand the nuance here. Sometimes a story doesn't need to carry multiple side plots and subplots and multiple arcs overall, and overall be so complex sometimes. Less is more because the story is less digestible. Yes. You know what story completely, like, gets ruined? You guys might hate me for this, but you know what story completely gets ruined because it is such an unfocused plot? The Godfather Part 2. I'm not the biggest fan of the first Godfather. I'm not going to lie to you. I always sleep when I watch that movie. I can never get through it completely. But The Godfather Part 2. I tried watching it last summer. And actually this summer, 2025 summer. And I just was not interested in, like, seeing a character who had already died in the first one. Like, come on. Like, I don't care. Like, Spider-Man 3 was an overbloated mess. Absolutely. I think if it was just like a Spider-Man and Venom, I think that would have been great. I think Sandman could have been like a one-off, like for like the first few minutes or so when he's fighting him. Obviously, that's not what you should probably do with this villain like Sandman. But I think that's what they should have done. And then Harry shouldn't have even been in that movie. Like, or at least not as the Green Goblin. He shouldn't have even been in that movie. And I don't think that what was the other one? There's another villain in there, wasn't there? No, there's only 3. Yeah, Sandman should have been like a little 5-minute thing, maybe the opening of the film, and then Venom should have taken the main plot. 100%. It just sucks, you know. But anyway, as much as it's kind of cool, I guess, to see the whole story of the Godfather, of Don Corleone and Michael Corleone, or no, I guess they both have the same last name, though. Michael and his father both getting the same look into their histories and backgrounds. You both get to see, like, the same sort of thing with both of them. I just could not care less because I already know how this character's story ends. I already know how it ends. He dies in a garden with his grandson. That's like, you cannot get me to care about a character who I've already seen die. In fact, I think that's why the Black Widow movie sucks. Because why are you showing me this now after she's already died and not before Avengers Infinity War, which is what that movie leads into? I just don't get it. Like, come on. Sonic fights Spotniks. Start. Sonic finds out Eggman is a decoy and ripped a hole in the multiverse. Sonic explores different parts of the multiverse and then eventually finds the real Eggman. I think that's what you should do. Even though Across the Spider-Verse does even though Across the Spider-Verse does try to juggle too much, which results in the movie being a bit bloated, but the execution is cohesive enough to understand it. Yeah, definitely. I would still consider the first movie to be a little bit better, but that doesn't mean the second one is bad at all. In fact, it's still really good. It's just, I think the bloat kind of like drags it out just a little bit too much. And I think the first one is just a little more streamlined, which makes it a lot better of a viewing experience. Because Across the Spider-Verse is almost 2.5 hours, the longest of any animated movie, and it drags it out. Like, I remember watching it in the theaters around the 20-minute mark. The last 20 minutes, there were about 3 times where I thought the movie was going to end. 3 times. SanicBoi, yes. What do you? Yes, I saw. 3 times. Once it was when Miles was with Uncle Aaron. No, it's when Miles first saw Uncle Aaron in the alternate universe, Earth 42. That's when I thought it was first going to end. And then I thought it was going to end, actually, even before that, with Miles, with Gwen Stacy leaving Miles' parents' house. And then I thought it was going to end with, Miles, no, that's not what it was. There were like 3 times where I thought it was going to end, though. And it's kind of annoying. I can't even lie to you. It's when you think a story is supposed to end and it doesn't, while it can give you a little more satisfaction by giving you a longer story that you're already invested in, it's kind of just meh. 2, fleshing out Miles and his family's dynamic, the Spot's villain, how he gets more dangerous. 4, Miles' identity and belonging aren't setting up Miguel's character and his motivation. Yeah. Finds Eggman in a different universe, making a new being. Nice. End credits. Nice. Like that. But yeah. I think the Spider-Verse movies are a masterclass in how to write a continuing narrative. I just don't think that it should be as bloated as it was. And the thing of what you said about those character arcs, those specific elements of the plot, not the character arcs, is they all lead into one another. It's not like the same thing happening right at this time, but there's also something happening at this time. It's all still somewhat streamlined. It's happening at the same time. I think the only time the movie actually does that, where it's 2 separate things happening at the same time, is at the very end when Miles goes to Earth 42 and Gwen is still in Miles' universe. That is like the only time, but it still makes perfect sense because the audience doesn't actually know what's going on, and we still think it's the same thing generally. It's a very good bait and switch that is, in fact, I think it's really one of the only good bait and switches in a movie that I've actually seen, is that the big reveal. In fact, it's still kind of like is great to this day. Going back to school next week, first, you start school in October? You're going back on the 13th? Bro! Oh, wait, I forget that some places have, like, the fall break, where there's, like, a few days that you guys get. That's probably what it is, if I had to guess. I get the 3-day weekend, too, but that's just because we have, like, teacher conferences and teacher in-service days, stuff like that. But, yeah. But the only time it really does that, where there's 2 things going on at the same time, is at the very end of the film. But like I said, it's the whole bait and switch thing. I think they do that very well, to the point where you don't even notice it until it's already been revealed to you. Like, it's great. And I think that's like the only time that kind of thing really works for me, is that, unless it's in a TV show as well, where it's kind of supposed to be like that. But I think that's like the only time it's really worked for me, is there. Because oftentimes character arcs that are like happening at the same time, they don't really lead to the same place. Like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, while all of the characters end up in the same spot, they don't all come to like the same conclusion. They're still like in their own separate stories. In Spider-Verse, they all just kind of, everyone comes to the same realization, is that Miles is in a different universe, or I'm in a different universe, and Miles is in a different universe, and Miles is in a different universe. They all just kind of converge. Maybe Miguel doesn't realize that. I think Jessica does, though. I just hope Gwen and Miles resolve their conflict. Absolutely. And I think that's what we see with, like, the teasers that they've given us so far, the screen grabs. I think that's exactly what they're setting up and teasing. My mind was broken while watching that movie. The visuals were cool, all but my head actually hurt. Yeah. One thing, you can't knock Across the Spider-Verse for the fact that it's not ambitious. It's really big. It's a big movie. In fact, I'm so shocked of how big they actually ended up going with it. I would have been fine with like a 90-minute movie. I really would have been. And if they want to do something really big for the next one, I would have been fine with that too. But, like, man, the second one being this bloated, imagine the third one, right? And maybe with the Beyond the Spider-Verse, they're a little too ambitious for their own good, but we'll see. December's in 2 months. Christmas is near. That is right, folks. Woo! All right, how much time we got? All right, we got 3 minutes just about. You guys should have heard my voice this morning. It was really bad because I was screaming all night at the homecoming game. We lost, unfortunately, by 1 point. If we had gotten the safety in the beginning, if our punter was actually really good, we would be winning. But, yeah. Haley Steinfeld said how she said Miles' name multiple different times in different tones. Yeah. I think that's also a great thing, too, that the actors are really trying to, like, do their best to try and, like, reflect the actual situation. I think oftentimes in, like, animation specifically, the actors just kind of feel like they're acting, and it doesn't really feel like they're there. But when you try something like that multiple different times, I think it works out beautifully, especially when they grab just the right specific one. It just works so well with that emotional hit. Like, it's great. My sister sounds like a screaming... What are those things called? Banshees? I found a Skibidi toilet figure at my Walmart. Really? No, where'd it go? I found a Skibidi toilet on my set. It was kind of like a gag gift for Christmas last year. Depends on the direction, because Haley is a perfect fit for Spider-Gwen. 100%. All of the we should collab boy. We'll see. Maybe we should. I would be open to collaborations. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be open. I need to collaborate, get my name out there. I think like I was saying, I think the cast that we have for the Spider-Verse movies, the definitive voice cast for all of these characters. The definitive. They were casted, all of them, perfectly. They're the definitive voices for these characters. Definitive voices. I received collab, he received Tangle and Whisper. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Well, I thank you guys so much for showing up to the live stream. We've had a really good conversation today. I hope to see you guys watch the new video that's dropping in a few seconds. So make sure you go check that out when this live stream ends. I will see you all whenever I do next, which will most likely be the Sonic Racing Crossroads review that you are about to watch in 3, 2, 1. And I believe now it should be out. So you guys go ahead and watch that, and I will see you guys in that comment section. Bye.